All right, how are all you wonderful people doing? Very good, very good. Please bear with me because it's just something I want to take care of since we just came off of having Sibu Sisu and Rion with us and the ministry. When you have true prophets and true apostles, and the reason I say true is because I've been around a lot that claim to be, but the true prophetic and apostolic ministries always stirs up things. How many of you felt a little stirred up, especially when Rion was preaching and prophesying and everything, you know? Some of it good and some of it probably like you went home going, what in the world was that, you know? Should I be offended? No, you should not be offended. Let me tell you why. If you were offended, let me just throw something out. The area that you get offended on, now don't get me wrong. If somebody walks up to you and slaps you across the face, you have every right to be offended. All right? That was an assault against you. But if somebody shares with you something that God is saying and you get offended, that's an area that the enemy has control of your heart and your life. Does that make sense? And our flesh does not want to admit to it and get over it. Romans 13:7 says this. Render, you know what, you can turn there if you can turn real quick, but don't even bother if you're not. It just says, render therefore to all their due. In other words, give to every person what they are deserving. If they deserve it, give it to them. Be careful with that, people. Taxes, to whom taxes are due. Customs, to whom customs are due. Fear, to whom fear. And honor, to whom honor. If the person is truly deserving of honor, give them honor. And I'm going to deal with a little bit with honor today, just briefly, like I said, briefly. Now, let me explain to you honor. Honor literally means respect that is given to someone that is admired. A good reputation, good quality or character is judged by other people. And that's key, as judged by other people. High moral standards of behavior. Now, self-honor, the person who has self-honor, they have like a code of conduct or a code of honor within themselves. And they work very hard to keep that high. Let me put it this way. Men especially used to. Men used to literally fight and sometimes die or even kill for their honor. You called me a liar, and I'd never tell a lie. I will kill you for my honor. And in our day and age, we say, oh, that's just harsh. That's barbaric. It's not. Literally, men, listen to this. Your personal adherence to a code of honor is what makes you a man and not a little boy. And I had to learn this the hard way because we don't live in a culture that cultivates that. Many cultures do, even still today, and cultures used to, like the knight. You know, back in that day when they had knights and all that stuff, a man would kill another man for speaking negatively to a woman in his presence. And now we got people that claim to be men cursing and cussing and putting out music that trash women. None of those are men. They're little boys. Earning a buck off of something that's so disgusting and vile and wicked, and we just keep teaching it to new generations. We need to teach our little boys how to be true men and to stand up for what they believe in, because we have to restore honor. Do you know why we're having all the problems we're having in America? Because we've raised a whole generation, about 3 generations, with absolutely no honor given to them. Do you know who's honorable? The one that gets wronged and then goes through the proper channels to make it right for other people. Dishonorable, go destroy their own town and burn down buildings and flip over cars. We see it all around us. We are going to have a true culture of honor in this house. But I want to say this to everybody in this church that does any kind of work in this church on any level. If you are working in or part of the worship team, children's church, youth group, and if I forget a ministry or group, please forgive me. Because even as I'm thinking, one comes to my head. Two, actually. But children, worship team, children's church, youth group, healing team, sound booth, the sound, prayer meetings, home cells, answering phones, because you guys know that I don't. So now Jackie has the church phone, so there'll be always somebody to answer the phone for you. Setting up before service, tearing down after service, setting up for events, tearing down and cleaning up after events. And by the way, we need more people to stick around and clean up after our events. Just throwing that out. If you go and even though it's not a direct thing under our direct covering, but if you're part of the community house, Pastor Tim really covers that more, and we support him. But if you're part of the community house, if you like the Bible study on Friday, or where's Christina? The Bible study that you're doing, things of that nature. If you're doing these types of things, and Blanca just started one with her co-workers. So if you're doing anything on that level, working in any of those groups, or maybe a group that I forgot, I want to honor you right now and say thank you. You guys are awesome. You make the church work and function. You do the work of the ministry far more than I ever could in and of myself. I know that you guys are so important, not only to me and to Pastor Linda, but our pastoral team. And you're super important to God and the work of God in this community, and literally beginning like with Nathan and Betty and Abraham and some of us on the globe. So you guys are worthy of all honor, and please forgive me for not going name by name by name by name, because that would take us literally all day. But yes, you guys are fantastic and wonderful and terrific, and you guys are doing a great job. I do, however, want to point out a few people, because, and please don't misunderstand, they're not the only ones that are doing a great job. They're the ones that, at least in the last few months, have done some things that really stood out to me, that have really just said, you know what? Give honor to whom honor is due, just like that passage says. And I want to point out and completely embarrass Todd and Sherry Brewer. Now they may be sitting there thinking, what awesome thing did we do? Well, number one, you're just awesome, so just keep being awesome, and that's awesome enough. But I know I've said this before about Todd, but I want to say it again because I so absolutely mean it. Todd is one of those solid guys that you rarely hear, at least. Well, okay, let me put it this way. Sorry, Betty, I'm going to throw you under the bus. If you put Todd and Betty in the same room, you won't hear Todd. I mean that in a good way. I really do mean that in a good way. Todd is one of those guys that's just a solid pillar in the house. He is somebody that listen, and Todd doesn't know this, maybe he does. Holy Spirit may have told him this. But even when I need some wisdom, I often just have to look at Todd. And you guys wear the little bracelets. What would Jesus do? I wear one. What would Todd do? Now, I don't really have the bracelet, but there's just a wisdom in his strength and how solid he is, that just looking at him, I sometimes get the answers. It's like one of those divine connections. So Todd, I'm sorry if I don't have to ask you all the time, but you're giving me the answers that I often need. So both he and Sherry are both just solid. Every time we have a baby dedication or something, Todd's up there, Sherry's up there praying for them and speaking and praying over them. They have a great love for children. And when I say just a love, I mean, it's funny with Todd, because Todd's a big, tall, he just looks at the kids. The kids get scared. I don't have that problem, of course. I have to threaten them. He doesn't. But they look up to him, and his word is law, but his word is loving. If you need something solid in your life, you need some great wisdom, especially on how to raise your little ones, go to this couple. Just solid people. And Todd's helped me out in many ways, in more ways than he even understands. When we were at Josh's party for graduating for the sheriffs, there's Todd in the kitchen washing dishes. Now, I ran out real quick before he put me to work, but there's Todd washing dishes. Another couple I want to point out real quick is Henry and Sue Ramos. Where are they at? Our deacons. Oh, they're down that's okay. They're probably doing something. They're in children's church. They are some of the greatest servants I've ever seen. And often, because they don't push it and get in people's face over it, well, Henry doesn't, Sue maybe, but they often get overlooked in that area. That's why I say people always be aware of this. When we come to an event, it's not quite enough to bring the food. Stick around for a little bit and help clean up, because it's usually the same group that sticks around and does all the cleanup work as well. So we need to fix that. But they're part of that group. Anything I ask of them, it's done. As a matter of fact, everybody that I'm going to mention, that's one of the main characteristics that link them all together. Anything I ask, it's done. No, there's only one person in this group that'll give me a hard time and whine, but it always gets done. They're solid. They set up, they clean up, they open their home. If you've ever wondered why our guest speakers go over to either Betty and Abraham or Sue and Henry's house, it's because they simply open it up, make it available. That's it. There's no special thing there. It's just they open it up. But their willingness to do those types of things, baptisms, barbecues, weddings, what else have we had there? Parties, women's events. And they set up, they clean up. I mean, here, I'm trying to get away from most of these women events because there's just too many women. And here is Henry toughing it out, setting up, and then cleaning up. And sometimes the cleanup goes into the next day. So they're just stand-up people. Another couple that I really want to point out is Wayne and Susan. And again, they're probably sitting there, what did we do? Just being you. They have no, Wayne might sort of have a title, but no real official title, and yet they operate and minister and love everyone here as true elders. I've watched as they've spoken, and I've heard as they've spoken wisdom into people's lives and just loved on people. I've watched even their hearts melt for various ones in this. I've watched my own wife trying to undermine her own children to become her favorite. That says a lot. She's making progress. Wayne takes care of all of our audio for our app, and what else are we putting on? For the app and all that stuff, and the pictures, and he just does it. I never have to push him and force him. As a matter of fact, it's been so out of sight, out of mind for me for so long, but it's just being done, and it's being done very well. And I don't have to push. I don't have to pull. Some people say, hey, would you like to do that? Yeah, I'll think about it. A year later, well, did you do it? Never have to worry about that with them. They're very solid. So if you need solid advice, love, some of you younger people that have had difficulties with your own parents, maybe absent father or mother or something like that, and you just have that longing, go hug on Wayne and Susan for a while. Just give them slobbery kisses and let them give you slobbery kisses. And they will definitely love you. If you're at that age where you just say, I never really had a grandparent, there they are. Just love on them and let them love on you. Another couple, I'm going to put them last. Another young lady, where is she? Is she even here? Where's Maria, Mikey's mom? Oh, there you are. Mama Maria. Now, the reason I said Mikey's mom, because most everybody says Mikey's mom. That's how her name is actually Maria. Okay, Mama Maria. She does more, and I'm not going to get into a lot of the details of some of the things she does, only because I didn't talk to her, and I'm not sure if she wants to embarrass her on details, but I will embarrass her in the general sense. I've watched her work and give. When I say give, I'm not talking about just in that box. I'm talking about into the lives of the people around here. That if they needed something and she has it, it's theirs. I've watched this with my own eyes. And just something happened just recently where Lynn and I was just, we were sitting on our bed, sitting back. We were watching my little tablet TV. You guys have big screens. I got a tablet, okay? We're going to have a Pastor Needs a New TV fund real soon. But my wife says no, but I think we can overrule her. Anyways, So we were watching this thing, and Linda just said, "Oh, a cool thing happened," and she told me something that Maria had done. And my heart just melted, and I go, "That's it. That's a person, that quality and the character so deserving to be honored and so deserving of respect in the house of God." Because she's like a ninja too. She don't honk her horn and shout, "Look what I did, everybody, and I'm a good person." She's just like, whoo, whoo. What was that? I don't know what it was, but I'm blessed. It must have been Maria. So she is so deserving of praise and honor and respect from the house of God. And she probably is sitting back going, "Oh my God, I wish he would stop. I'm going to load it up." So big, wet, slobbery kisses all over Maria before she leaves this place, just to say thank you. Just to say thank you. Now, again, I know there's a ton of people that I'm looking around that's going, I could say this about that person, but we don't have time for all that. Unfortunately. I wish we would, but it's already past my time, and Linda's looking at me saying, "I'm hungry." The next couple that I want to just kind of point out is Abraham and Betty. There is no couple in my life that drives me as crazy as this couple. Actually, I'm sorry, Abraham. There is no woman other than my wife in my life that drives me as crazy as Betty. Let me tell you why. I have to sit in bed with my wife at night watching my little tablet screen. Can't hardly hear it because of the little speaker. It's all fuzzy because, it's a little thing. I have to put on my big glasses just to see the screen because it's so small. And I'll look over, and Linda will be texting somebody. It could be 11:30 at night. And Linda's saying, "Who are you texting at 11:30? Lately, do you know what she's been saying to me? My boyfriend." All right, well, text him and tell him he owes me a check then, okay? I mean, I'm just saying, a little extra in the box back there. Anyways, but it's always, "Well, who do you think I'm texting?" It's Betty. Now what does she want? Oh, she's just running something by me. 7 o'clock in the morning at times. Now who are you texting? Oh, Betty. Because she texts her to ask a question. She runs everything by her. We never, ever have to wonder the counsel she's giving somebody because she's already got Linda's approval by it. We never, ever have to wonder if she's teaching something correct at the Bible study or anywhere else because she's already run it by Linda. We never have to wonder what's going on in her life because we know about it, hear about it. And the reason I say that drives me crazy is because I'm of the guy, I don't really care. Just go do it. If you say something wrong, I will tell you afterwards and make a big deal of it in front of the church. Maybe that's what she's afraid of. But this couple has been so solid to us. As a matter of fact, Abraham is one of the most sacrificial people that I know. Now we have this running rule. There's no women and no men, unless they're married, of course, to each other, to be alone together at any time. Okay, at any time. It just saves on a whole heck of a lot of problems. So when people like Rion, Sibu Sisu, Adega, and they come, he takes off of work, his own vacation time, to be there so that there's nothing awkward or weird, and so that I don't have to get up at 6 in the morning or whatever time he has to go to work and be there. Now, this last time, because of the trip and everything, he couldn't take all that time off. So Lynn and but he is so sacrificial that he'll give up his own vacation time and his own time, energy, all of that, to house people from another country and do things of that nature. Now, Lynn and I have heard people say to us, we favor them the most. They're our favorite children. We do all of this. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's not so. If it seems like that, it's only because they have opened themselves up so much to it. Every Sunday, it's either Sue's or at Betty's house. If anybody else wanted that, open up your house. If you feel like if we're not giving you the time, open up your house. We'll be there. Lynn and I actually go out to lunch to some restaurant. We don't even go to their house for lunch. And we say, everybody's invited. Anybody that's invited, be there. You want to spend time with us? They take us up on it. Above and beyond. above and beyond. They started a Bible study down below once a month, and it has upwards of, I think, one of the biggest meetings that I counted personally was around 74 people, but it hovers around 50, 45, 50, typically. You can go up to 70. They did that on their own. I didn't do it. Oh, and I do want to tell you this, because this is one of the latest ones that I heard. The rumor mill. It always makes it to my ears, by the way, guys, so be careful what you say. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, don't even whisper on your bed because the birds will carry your words to the king. Where's my crown? I just had a crown. I hear things and know things in the spirit long before anybody tells me. It's the truth. Here's one of the latest that I've heard. Betty and Abraham are only getting close to Rob and Linda to try to take the church over. This is what I've heard. Okay. You know that? You just heard that. It might seem like a joke to you. I offered it to them 3 times. The last 2 times, I forced it on them, and they still wouldn't take it. I kid you not. In our existence, my heart has always been to raise people up, turn over what I've done, and go start another one. All the people that I had in my view, in my sight to do that, have left us. The last couple, after I sat down and spoke to them, because the first ones I didn't, I was trying to do it naturally. The last couple, I sat down and here is what I want to do. Others have run out. I don't want you. And then they still left. Betty and Abraham are the ones that are sticking close to us and have stayed around and created a niche for us. So I'm saying, I'm just giving it to you. You're taking the church. No way. They pulled a total Nacho Libre on me, El Scatelito. No way. And I said, no, I'm serious. I want to go start another church somewhere. I will always cover the church, but I want you guys to take it. No way. Because if you leave, we're going with you. That's their heart. And on one hand, it was kind of frustrating because I really want to go start another work. But on the other hand, it was really refreshing because finally, somebody that not only has God's heart, but our heart as well. I'm not saying that you don't. Please don't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I found a couple that has come up to the point that I can trust them with this church. And they said, no, we just want to be with you, our Father. So if you've ever said anything negative or thought anything negative or thought that they were trying to take the church over, now you know what the devil's prophecies and his voice sound like. And I'm being serious. That's what the devil sounds like. That thought, that word. Because they don't even want it. I try to force it to them. No, you're taking it. Abraham, speak some sense in your woman. Well, I don't want it either. What if I just didn't show up? Good luck with that. We'll find you. That's what they said. We'll find you. So if you've ever thought they're trying to take over, it's the furthest thing from the truth. Absolutely everything they do is run through us first. Absolutely. So if you don't like what they're doing, you don't like what I'm doing. Because I not only, through Linda and I, told them to do it, but how to do it. So her craziness, you can blame that all on me. Matter of fact, we were talking to them. Yes, we were talking bad about you. Actually, we were talking good about you to Barron. And Barron says, wow, they've got, what did he say? Like submission on steroids. I say, yeah. He goes, that's refreshing, though. I go, you have no idea. I'm so refreshed, I'm going crazy. Phone calls and texts and emails at 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't get up till noon. Come on, what's going on with this? So, but which is cool because they're not really morning. Well, he's morning person, so we'll break him of that. But all of these people, and trust me, there's more. But like I said, it's already almost 1 o'clock. It is 1 o'clock. I don't have time to get into it, but there's so many people who have done so many things in this church and in this house. The reason I wanted to point them out, because like the word says, give honor to, there's that time where you have to select. These people are doing something that are deserving of all of our attention, not just mine. All of our attention. Maria, the ninja servant. If you just suddenly are radically blessed and you just felt the breeze come in and out, it was probably Maria, If you don't know how things got set up or cleaned up during an event, it was probably Sue and Henry. Well, it was probably a whole group of people that Sue yelled at to get busy, but nonetheless, they're still doing it in that sense. If you see a bunch of people getting healed up that have had parental or daddy issues, and they just needed a love from a father and a mother, it's probably Wayne and Susan. There's others, of course. But these are the ones that really stand out in many, many ways. And if there's just that silent solidity in this house, look no further than Todd and Sherry. But this I've watched with Sherry especially. She's a great disciplinarian in that sense, but she absolutely loves the children. And she's not disciplining them out of any kind of well, I can't say that. Maybe she is a little angry, but it's not what's ruling her. Love for them is ruling her. Love for the kids. Our very first youth pastor, I think they were there first. Where's Linda? My wife ran out on me. He didn't say anything nice about me. She just ran out. Okay. But our very first youth pastors, that I think they were our first anyways, was Todd and Sherry. And, we have great youth pastors, by the way. And I asked them to step down from it, not because they were doing a bad job at all. I wanted them to shift over into something more eldership kind of a thing, where but they did a great job. My son Sam was playing football when he was little, and Coach Todd, he was one of the coaches for his team, and he was just solid on the football field with those kids, training them up. He's great with kids. So if you guys are having a problem with your kids or just want some wisdom, go see that couple. Go see them both. They're solid. Just don't ask him if he needs help hooking up his trailer. I dropped off his trailer yesterday, and I started driving away like, oh, wait, I could help him hook it up. Hey, you want me to help you? If I want your help, I'll ask you for your help. Are you saying I'm old? I just drove away, guys. He's so much bigger than me. No. No. But that's the kind of character that he is. He's just solid. He's real. He didn't mean anything bad by it. I took it as I hope it was a joke. You weren't threatening my life. I got out of there alive. But if I need to borrow something, he has it. It's mine. And I feel the same way. I just don't have much. Yeah, you can borrow my box. 'Cause that's all I got is boxes all over the place. But every one of you, that especially been working in the church, have blessed this church and anywhere, the people of this church, blessed Lynn and I want, my crown goes off to you.